Hey everyone, happy Sunday. Oh, Lisa here. If you haven't met me already and this is your first time watching, hi, thanks for joining. I just thought I would pop on and do the energy reading for this coming week, starting the 8th of March. How did that happen so quickly? Oh, well, this week, this coming week, my team has a really, really clear message. So as I was sitting just now feeling into the upcoming energy, I don't often get booming voices. And this time there's big booming voices coming in. And ultimately the big booming voices are wanting us to notice. The words that came really straight through was just notice. So this week we're really being asked to step back from doing, and really just notice. I can see that what's ultimately happening is as these new layers of, well, they're not new, are they? They've always been here. But as people are peeling back their layers of remembrance and people are starting to come online, they literally show me this great big, I guess it's like a net of light, I guess, and every single person is on it. And they're showing me that every now and then a whole bunch of them lights up. And it's almost like they come in waves. So I think this reading is speaking to the people that are watching, and if you're watching, you're probably one of these people that are just coming online. And I don't mean coming online for the first time, I mean to a new layer. So ultimately what's happening out there is there's a lot of people that are starting to see, to feel, to sense, to know things. And they're really, really wanting me to just really bring in, you are not imagining things. This is not temporary. This is not too good to be true. This is not going to go away. This is the world as it is today. And so they're really wanting people out there to notice like, oh, I see that thing out of the corner of my eye, or I have that feeling, or I just know that. And without needing to understand or needing to do anything with it or judging it, simply notice. They're like talking about the metaphor of a garden, like you're standing in your garden and there's times for planting and then there's times for pulling stuff out, and there's times in between each of those just to stand and notice. So ultimately they're calling us to really stand. And it's curious because I'm going to be doing this myself starting back at uni this week. I can feel it. Thanks, guys. Really just standing there with the feet on the ground and just noticing. That's it. Not to judge, not to try and explain it, not to try and understand it, just to notice. I can see a lot of you are going to have that, like your spiritual side is starting to come online. And that can be destabilizing sometimes. It can be a little bit isolating. And one of the reasons for this is because we try and articulate it out there. So you'll try and have a conversation with someone and you'll try and put, and I say you and I mean me because I've done this, trying to explain something that's happened in a journey that you've done, or in the, the word is like on the tip of my tongue. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And it makes you feel like you can't explain what's happening. And that's because you don't need to. What's happening now isn't for other people, it's for you. And I think that one of the tools that you can do that really, really helps this. So rather than trying to explain it and feeling like you can't quite find your words, or feeling like someone might not understand, understand this. No one else needs to understand. This is for you. This is your side. These are your gifts, and this is your team. And so one of the things that they're really, they're showing me, they want to celebrate with you. They want to dance more. They want to be like more of your team. So they're saying, I can feel their desire to be really called in and included. And they're really wanting me to speak a lot of my own experience today, which is quite funny. When my sight was coming in, it was the little moments of celebration, and I still do them, and I still remind myself to do them with my team. Like the first time, you know, I would meet one of my guides, rather than telling someone about it and feeling all discombobulated, I would celebrate with my team, like, yes, it's so good to meet another one of you. I would give myself high fives. I still do. I'll have dance parties with my teams. It's such a beautiful way to, it brings us into that unity, not the duality. So I can really feel them. They know that sometimes you feel isolated and that it can be a bit clunky and you're not quite sure, and that's okay. You don't need to be all of those things right now. They just want you to know that they're here and they're celebrating you. So call them in. The other parts that came through was, it's not weird. Weird is a word that really isolates, it separates us. So my beautiful teacher, and I have used this, my beautiful teacher Claire Deal, she often says that's curious. I call it a Claireism. And it's a Claireism that I've adopted in my own day-to-day life. It's curious. The energy of it's curious makes me feel excited to find out. It makes me feel like, oh, I want to peek in there, rather than, oh, that's weird. And I mean, of course, it's the intention behind those words. So you may find that that's weird it could be a serving word for you. But feeling into the energy of those things. Am I putting my team and my side and my abilities out, or am I bringing them in closer? And it's all right to oscillate between the two of those. Okay, so this week they're really wanting us to take a moment, like look at your garden. You know, if you've got a beautiful flower bed there and you're your garden, what parts need nurturing? What part needs some water? Is there anything that needs a little weeding? And pay special attention to the weeds. Are the weeds really firm, stuck in place, and are you having trouble pulling them out? Or are they coming out really easily? And just feeling into the energy of this for you. And as this is the week of, you don't have to do a great deal, just notice, oh, that weed's a bit hard to pull out. Okay. All right, feel into the energy. What does that weed represent to you? And is that weed ready to go now? Because if it's not, we don't need to push. It's okay to let weeds grow in your garden sometimes. Sometimes we need to honour the time that each of those needs to be let go of. And sometimes they'll just all be let go of instantly. Oh gosh, it's such a different reading this week. I just want to make sure that I've got all my little notes. Yeah, they're really, really observing. That's right. The other thing, your garden, who are you letting into your garden? So really observing who you're letting in and how does that feel? If you've got someone visiting and you notice your weeds growing, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is that great? You know, they're activating those weeds so that you can look at your shadows or look at the things that need to be brought to light. Or are those weeds taking over? And do you want that person and those weeds in your garden? So really just that energy discernment, again, coming through, same as last week, just coming through massively. Action. So my team is telling me that a lot of people have got a busy week coming up. It's not the kind of week where you can just push everything aside. For some of you, great. That sounds lovely. For the rest of you, you're going to be out there in amongst the normal world. Stuff, you know, quite busy. So be a tree anywhere, anytime. You do not need to be outside to connect to Gaia. You literally can stand there while your boss is talking straight to your face and picture yourself being a tree all at the same time. You don't even know it, do you? I'm literally being a tree right now. I can feel my grounded roots going down. Looks like I'm, see? So easy. Two things at once. Find stillness where you can in any moment. And if that's imagining you're a tree or just simply taking that moment to breathe, bring stillness into your day. The other thing they're showing me is that a lot of people's brains at the moment they're having little freakouts because they're like, oh my God, what's going on? All this new stuff. I can see all these things. I can feel all these things. This is freaking me out a bit. And the brain for many people is used to being really in control. So this week I'm inviting you to ask your brain if it would like to come into your heart for those conversations. And notice what you feel. Does it say yes or no? Does it really quickly slip its hand in yours? This morning I noticed my brain was quite heavy, busy. And I did exactly that. I invited my brain to come into my heart and to have these conversations with us because the brain's not the enemy here. And do you know, it was so quick. My brain grabbed my hand. It was so relieved and it came straight into my heart. It was so excited. It was happy to be asked and it was relieved to not have to deal with all of the things. So that's the whole point of having all these things, is that they're part of the same team and that they work together. So at moments where your mind is going, ask your brain, invite it, bring it down into your heart, and see how that feels. Rose quartz, lapis lazuli, they're showing me them in palms of hands, in bras, in handbags. So maybe just keeping them close by. Yeah, I can feel that for many. There's that grounding and anchoring of having the actual stone there, the rose quartz in your hand to keep you in your heart space. The lapis, I'm not even sure why, but the lapis, that's awesome. Eat the rainbow, eat the rainbow. Yeah, anything your eyes want to eat, yes, for your belly. And the last part they're wanting me to say is that as these new lights come on, there's so many beautiful connections out there forming. There's going to be new people coming in and you're going to meet these people. It's going to be different. It's like you've known them forever because you have known them forever. And so that's a follow on from last week as well. I feel like that's going to be happening for the next little while. New connections are being made, new webs in the best possible, most juicy way. So have a great week, everyone. Yeah, look, mainly notice, let go of the judgment, let go of the doing, and simply observe and notice yourself this week, because there's a lot of exciting stuff happening. And for those of you that that your site is coming in, whatever that looks like or feels like to you, that's really exciting, and enjoy it. And I love you all. Mwah!